You're listening to the Mopcast Network.
Do I get to make my apology now?
No. It's a great way to start the show, man.
If you watch this movie.
I'm sorry, my audience.
Dear audience, Drew here. Kohas here. I'm so sorry. I really did. I was on a plane and I started watching this movie and I thought to myself, you might have to beep this, but like, shit fuckers. Fuck, it's bad. And all I could see is my...
Turn into a Tourette's fit?
Yeah, I mean, on the plane with people next to me.
Edward Norton movie.
Yeah. And then there was like random boobs in it, and I was like, these aren't cool boobs. This person sitting next to me is looking at me watching a shitty movie on my phone.
This is not cool boobs.
These are not cool boobs. T-shirt already done. Not cool boobs. Can we have that one?
We probably will see.
Maybe we just don't spell it. Maybe we spell it B-E-W-B-S.
Beebs. All right.
Boobs.
Can we start the show?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Welcome, my friends, to the Catacombs, the deep underground layer where we keep the really weird stuff at the Cult Movie Cantina. I'm not sure if that counted. I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty, and I'm joined by my co-host, Drew.
Co-host. I am really sorry. It really does bother me.
You sound like you're drunk. I'm really sorry. I love you, man.
I love you. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I even have it on playing right now, and it makes no sense to me.
Oh, this is going to be a fun podcast. You can check us out on my website, scottywhite.com, or you can join the discussion at the Cult Movie Cantina's Facebook page, facebook.com, Cult Movie Cantina. Our movies are like your grandma, so why don't you talk to her on Facebook while you're visiting us? Facebook, the place your grandma goes, and weird movies lurk. This week, we took a look at the 1993 Cyborg movie, Nemesis.
Alex Rain is a human being. His life is more dangerous with each sunrise.
Alex Rain will be destroyed somehow, some way.
He should die for what he's done. Get him!
In a future false world, he stands for truth.
He's a cop, all right.
In a violent world, violence is his life. He knows he must face the human condition alone.
Takes more than flesh and blood to be human, Alex.
I can't feel anything anymore.
Maybe you should take the time to find out what you care about, Alex.
You're not really human anymore, are you?
He knows the answer, but he doesn't know the question.
I think he accepted the story. By the time he learns the truth, it'll be too late.
He must face an ever-changing enemy in an eternal fight against an indestructible force.
I need your help with the cyborgs.
The never-ending battle line is drawn. They will never let him go.
How did it happen?
Relax. Help me relax me, are you?
He has what they must have.
Jared's mind and soul, Alex.
In a world where humanity is measured in percentages, only Alex Rain knows the path to redemption, to the cyborg enemy. He is their nemesis.
You have something to say about this movie?
Only I'm sorry. So, do you want the backstory on why I picked this movie?
Yes, I do.
All right. So, when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to read a lot of Starlog. I could read some. But my parents were kind of strict about, because they knew that Starlog was also Fangoria. So it was kind of like my nerd porn, literally.
Wait. That makes no sense.
Nope, it's not going to. Don't question it. There's lots of stories that are going to begin this way.
So you couldn't read Starlog because they also made Fangoria.
That's correct.
Are you sure that they also made Fangoria? I don't think that's true.
Oh, well, they look similar. So that's what they went off of.
Was like, oh, look, they're magazines about movies. Like,
Yep.
you can't have Premiere either.
Yep. I could have Entertainment Weekly. Right? I could have generic stuff.
Right.
But my mom's a lovely lady, very big scaredy cat. Doesn't like anything, no tense movies. She likes kittens, rainbows, and butterflies, and Jesus. Like, that's her that's her space. And Starlog had none of that. Certainly Fangoria didn't.
No.
So, like I got in Fango once, and I was very happy. But, like, everything else around it. So, Starlog, I got a Starlog. It was contraband for me. I was obsessed with it. And in that particular issue was a entire behind the scenes, and it's this exact opening sequence from Nemesis.
Oh, I have to find this because Starlog is the whole catalog is available for free online.
Yeah, I started digging around in 92, but I didn't see anything. They had one magazine in 92, and it was a Star Trek Quarterly.
I'll see. I can see if I can
see
find
if you can find it.
Because there's the same.
Because that was the only sci-fi. That was the premier sci-fi magazine, right?
Right. So Starlog, there's the folks who did you can get the basic arcade games and stuff.
Yep.
They also did Starlog. They put all the Starlogs up. So it's the
Oh,
same.
got it.
So I mean, it's a huge catalog, and I thought it was complete, but I'll go dig, and if I can find it, I'll link it on the show notes.
So anyway, it was that, and so I got super obsessed. I read about Oliver. I don't know how much. I don't want to spoil anything, and like his background and stuff. Do you know any of that? Are you talking about any of that? Does it even matter?
No, I'm not.
So he's former Special Forces. He was like a legit a French Special Forces soldier.
Yeah, I knew he was French.
Yeah, his dad is a famous surgeon. His brother's a famous surgeon. His other brother is named Daryl. And no, but he's like,
I like the Newhart joke.
Yeah, that's old school. I just
Right.
pull it back. But anyway, he's a former Special Forces guy. Kind of like he's like the French Steven Seagal.
Okay, I can see that really a lot.
Anyway.
It's funny because I wasn't expecting to do, and nothing against the French, but I wasn't expecting to do two French starring films back to back.
Oh.
So for me, we have just recently posted our Highlander episodes,
Which is fantastic.
which I saw, was Christopher Lambert, who was born in New York but raised in France and doesn't.
I had no idea.
Right, I didn't know that either.
I thought it was French.
I thought it was French too, and then I was like, he was born, and Stephanie called me on it quick. No, he's French, but he was born in New York, and it's like Mel Gibson, born in New York, raised in Australia.
Right.
So, but at least he spoke English.
Right. Yeah, Christopher Lambert has a very thick French. It almost sounds like his tongue is swollen sometimes.
Real quick on Highlander before I get back to.
And
back. First off, go listen to the Highlander episode.
It's a great episode.
But
and prairie dogs are very important.
Just Dana. So it is. I didn't mention this, but it's amazing to me that it stars Sean Connery, who is Scottish,
Right.
and Christopher Lambert, who's not, and neither one of them sounds Scottish in this movie.
Right. Neither one of them are playing a Scotsman.
Neither one.
I guess one of them is,
one
but
of them's playing a
technically.
Scotsman.
But the Frenchman is a Scotsman, and
The
Sean Connery's like Spanish or something, right?
No, he's Egyptian by way of Spain, by way of Sean Connery. That's how I wrote it in the script.
I don't even understand.
He went to a dialect coach to learn how to speak the English and Spanish.
But he spoke
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
It's the same thing he did in Hunt for Red October. He's like he just paid. No, he just convinced the studio to pay for him a vacation to Spain. And
Fact.
said, I'm going to quote learn how to do. And then showed up and it's like, I'm Sean Connery.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, yeah. No one says no.
Right. Zardoz, bitch.
Zardoz. We need to throw that one on the list.
Oh God, no.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Oh.
Maybe once.
So, like we've been talking about, we have seen this is Nemesis. Nemesis came out in 1993 or 92. It's a mystery, but I found box office dates for 93, so I'm leaning toward 93. But a lot of research says 92, And I'm
I
not,
wonder if it was a foreign release that
was-
then came back to the U.S.
right. It was funded by money from Denmark.
Was it really?
Yeah. That's
Well, that's the last movie they ever made.
so. Directed by Albert Pyun, who directed most famously Cyborg, which is a better version of this movie.
Yep.
The Sword and the Sorcerer in 1982, which I've never seen.
I haven't either.
And then the 1990 version of Captain America.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so he directed that.
With the best Red Skull ever.
Right.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
Beatty. Isn't it? Ned Beatty?
Is it Ned Beatty's Red Skull in that? School me as a pig guy?
I think that'd be amazing.
Oscar-nominated Ned Beatty? Or maybe Oscar-winning? I don't know if he won for...
Maybe it's not Ned Beatty.
Probably not.
Could be.
I mean, Ned Beatty was Otis in
Yeah.
Superman. So
Yeah, it's somebody. It's a guy with a name.
played by a human being.
Favorite Red Skull? Hey, you know what, though? It was a real human being.
Right.
There was no CG involved.
Right, what was a real Red Skull? Written by Rebecca Charles. She's most famously known for this thing. Is the only thing she wrote, Nemesis. She's got credit on the sequels, though, for characters. Cinematography by George Modian, who was the cinematographer for Kickboxer 2. All 4 Nemesises.
Nemesis? Please plug that in from Mystery Men.
Well, we've always been each other's greatest nemesises. This is Nemesis. What's the plural on that?
Nemesis.
Whatever.
And one of my favorite Full Moon Entertainment films, Doll Man.
Oh, Dollman's great.
Yeah, Dollman's great.
Isn't that the guy in this?
Yep.
Jack Jack Death.
Jack Death, that's Trancers, also.
Yep.
Also one of those films.
Yep.
But
he's the dude in this one.
Yeah, Tim Thomerson.
Yeah, that's it.
Special effects by Tony Chavez, who is also famous for being the special effects director of Star Trek Nemesis.
Did he really?
Yes.
Hey, you know what? Who should we get for special effects? Well, this guy has a Nemesis already on his credits.
So
That's 7 letters less to type, Ted.
He was the only guy who was. He's the only guy. These are the only 2 credits he has where he is the head guy of special effects. The rest of the time he's assisting.
Yep.
And so it was Nemesis and Star Trek Nemesis. So that's pretty much how that happened. He did a lot of work on the TV show Angel, and he also was influential in Disney's The Country Bears movie.
Oh, interesting.
So if you watch the trailer of this film, the trailer says from the visual effects of Terminator 2. And what they mean by is the visual effects director of photography, Christopher Duddy, who worked on The Abyss, Waterworld. He was uncredited on Titanic. He did Dante's Peak, and of course he did Terminator 2.
But there's got to be a caveat to this. He just put his name on it. They gave him money for it because there's no way. Towards the end of the movie, when you get a Terminator ripoff 3000, it's not a T, it's an S3000.
Yeah, you know.
When it shows up, I mean, it's like the off-brand Terminator. There's no way. There's no way. There's just no way. Maybe Terminator 1.
It looks kind of like Terminator 1's endoskeleton. To me, the endoskeleton fight, and we'll get to it. But the endoskeleton fight is like if Terminator 1 and the fight scene of Freddy Krueger's skeleton in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 had a baby that was disabled.
Yeah, there you go. I'm with you.
And that's the robot guy Nemesis.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like, good going, sport.
How we get to...
You may not go to college, but we're going to get you that high school degree.
Here it is. Throw them on out there, see what happens.
That's basically what this is. The music is by Michael Rubini, who did the soundtrack to Manhunter, which is also known as the first Hannibal Lecter movie.
Yep.
Michael Mann. If you've not seen it, it's really good.
It's a fantastic movie, actually.
It's what I like about Michael Mann, especially in that era, it's just beautifully 80s because this is in his Miami Vice kind of right, and so it's preheat and all that, but it's not. Do you know what the original Heat was called?
No.
Because Heat was a movie first.
Yeah.
And then he remade it. So the first version, I gotta go look it up again, but the first version of Heat's terrible. There's a great comparison of the scene between like Pacino and
I need to go look that up.
and De Niro in the diner.
Yeah.
And then what it was in the made-for-TV version that he made.
Oh, so he made it twice.
Yeah, he made it twice.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
So he made a bad movie, and then it was like, if I had some money, I could make it good, and it worked.
Yeah, because Heat's, one of the most classic of all time.
Right, especially that scene. But
Yeah.
So, we'll look at. Yeah, I will.
But I don't know.
I'll post the.
Is that
show
the
notes.
movie? Were they actually in the scenes together? Or is it like some section of that movie where they didn't film them together, and so it's just, if you notice, it's just overs. It's just the whole thing is like over the shoulder, and there's never a twofer. It's because they wouldn't talk to each other. I think I could be making up shit again, but
actors.
yeah, but I think remember there being some deal there.
The movie stars Special Forces French dude Oliver Gruner as Alex Raines.
Also Roman Reigns. Sorry.
Tim Thomerson as Farnsworth.
It's a terrible bad guy name. Farnsworth.
I have a lot of issues with the names in this whole entire film. Karihuyuki Tagawa, or also known as Shang Tsung.
He's awesome, though.
Oh, he's amazing. As Angie Live. Yuji Okamoto, also known as Chozen from Karate Kid Part 2, as Yashiro Han. Majori Monaghan as Jared. Tim Matthews, who is in Return of the Living Dead Part 1, and he is Tommy in Friday 13th Part 6, Jason Lives.
No joke.
Yeah. As Marion, Deborah Shelton as Julian, Thomas Jane as Billy.
As in the Thomas Jane.
And Oscar nominee, Jackie Earle Haley as Einstein.
Oh, that's right.
He's at the end, so.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
So
that's who's in this film.
Yeah. And it doesn't make a difference.
So, I'm normally good at doing synopsises. And unfortunately, if you've watched this film, you understand that it does not make sense. And I typically write my own synopsises. I did not this time because I did not know what was going on.
I had no clue.
So together, I'm going to read the Wikipedia page. Because it's synopsis, because it may tell us a story, and then we will talk between paragraphs, I think. Is that fun for you?
It's perfectly great.
All right. So
I'm just watching this terrible scene unfold that I still don't know what it means.
In the near future, illegal androids have become commonplace.
So, real quick question. I'm sorry,
I haven't even finished the first paragraph.
If they're illegal and in commonplace, how does that even happen?
Marijuana. And many criminals will enhance themselves with cybernetic components, making them, quote unquote, more than human. Alex Rain is a disillusioned assassin/bounty hunter for the LAPD, which I did not know. First of all, did not know that. I thought he was just a cop.
I didn't even know he was a cop. I thought he just blasted. I mean, they make a couple of references, but I was like, I thought he went rogue.
The whole time watching, it's like, man, the LAPD have a lot of power in the future.
Apparently, the entire world is governed by the LAPD. And this is right. This would have been right when the riots happened.
Right.
Whoops.
So during a routine mission, he is attacked by a group of cyborg freedom fighters known as the Red Army Hammerheads. Nearly killed by the surviving leader, Rosaria, Alex resists her assertion that he is a mindless robot. 86.5% of me is still human. So let's start here.
So
I have notes.
Yeah. So the opening sequence, just the opening of the entire movie is the most mind-blowing scenario of holding on his face forever.
Right.
Narration, which I think I read something that originally it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be Jared's voice, not his voice.
Right. So there's a lot.
And Jared's a woman.
Right. So, sure. Names and genders are arbitrary.
I get it.
I was so confused.
Maybe this is super progressive. This is the most progressive film ever made. Right here.
Except in the beginning. So when we meet.
Nemesis is woke, bro.
So first of all, I would like to point out the movie takes place in starts in L.A. 2027, and I would like to note that it's less on fire than L.A. in 1997, as proven in Predator and Demolition Man.
Absolutely correct. I was about to. The Demolition Man reference is the one that really makes the difference.
So 30 years later, they figure out how to stop all that fire.
Right.
But
it's still very orange.
It's very well, yes. They didn't fix that, but it's less than fire. So we meet Alex, and he is making out with a nice lady who I would say is a lady of the night.
Yep.
Not a vampire.
Nope. She's a cyber hooker.
Right. And so there's a little bit of play there, and then she grabs his junk and is like disarms him, and she we kind of like
it's really weird. It's a very awkward scene.
Like it's like it doesn't make sense. I don't know what's going on. I was like, all right, so, huh? And then he shoots her in the head.
Yep, blaster. Brain wide open.
Just right over, and so she dies. And then apparently she was as I put it, dead cyborg prosta courier.
Oh, yeah, because she has a little chippy chip.
She has a chippy chip that the freedom fighters need to get.
Now, I would like to point out, this movie, following our trend of what other bigger movies rip off,
right?
Johnny Mnemonic.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Johnny Mnemonic was after this.
That's true. The freedom fighters and Alex have the most incredibly zany firefight ever.
And it introduces a very important part about this movie. Shotguns in 2027 are effing magical.
No. I would say that they don't know how shotguns work.
I don't think they do. They apparently they shoot like rocket launchers sometimes. They don't have anything consistent about them.
So I have two notes about the guns. First of all, I went pistol with a scope, shotgun with a scope. Put a scope on anything, it looks like it's from the future.
Welcome to Scopes Are Us. You got a pistol you need to look like the future? Slap this scope on it. If you don't like our scope at Scopes Are Us, if your gun doesn't have a scope on it, you can't be Cyborg.
And then I was corrected. Oh, wait, it's not a scope. It's a top-loading grenade launcher.
Yeah, nope.
And also, what the fuck are they looking through the walls and shit? So they are shooting at this guy, and the stunts are so good that I'm pretty sure they were illegal. No one watched it. There's no ropes or anything.
No, it's all real. I'm pretty sure it's all real.
There's a point where Alex jumps on a pole and it just explodes for no reason.
Yeah, it's like the A-Team.
Yeah, no.
One bullet, a truck flips over. And this, if they shoot a shotgun or frankly any gun at you, a big fireball.
Right,
I mean, massive.
Their budget went to ammo and sparks. I mean, the entire budget is.
And Thomas Jane.
Yeah, poor good old Thomas Jane. Oh boy. So he's shot up because one lady has a rocket launching top-loading grenade shotgun scope thing.
Get my grenade scope.
But what's funny to me is that he's in another building, like it's concrete, right?
Yep.
And she can see through it like she's Superman.
Yep.
But what she sees is that he sees a puppy.
Oh yeah, randomly.
And the puppy, he's like, "Oh, I will put the puppy in this random safe I found."
Yep.
And she's all like, "Oh, sentimental," and then just shoots everybody. Because I did put.
But so she's as a villain, she's very aggressive.
So my note did the pole just blow up and right under it? Puppy.
So that's what it says. But he finds a dog, and he puts it in a safe, and that apparently doesn't mean anything, because after their little soiree,
we'll get to that. Hold on, just a second.
Because time is really the weirdest thing.
Okay.
And hairstyles.
Oh yeah, note about that.
You should watch this movie for hairstyles,
or just the first 30 minutes of it.
That's all you need.
So she then he's all blown up after, but his foot's all messed up. His robot foot's all messed up, and then she and her partner shows up and shoots him like it's like basically they were like, "Hey, last night we totally saw RoboCop. We should do that."
Yeah, that's totally what it is.
It's like
100%.
You know that scene where in RoboCop went, "Yeah, let's do that," and they just blow that guy up, and then they put him back together. All right, let me go to the next paragraph of this
monstrosity.
Oh boy, paragraph 2. After months of cybernetic reconstruction and recovery, Alex treks Rosaria to Old Baja, which is part of America now, and kills her. Now, I want to pause real quick on that. So he shows up in this ghost town, right? And
with the dog.
With the dog, who's all badass.
And grown up.
Because it's been 6 months, and he looks like he's like 9 years.
Yeah, the dog's
and well trained.
Oh, yeah.
He shows up into this open-aired bar, and he asks for cerveza in the amount of Spanish that I know.
Right. Cerveza, por favor.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I get. That in the Taco Bell menu. I got you on that. And it's the slowest, longest shot I've ever seen of anyone just getting a beer.
Yeah.
It's a good 60 seconds of just long.
But how does she not recognize him?
Because he has a new haircut.
Exactly right.
He's got a crew cut, like a military real. It's not completely bald, but he's got a really good short hair.
It's a high and tight.
Right?
With lots of tight.
Right. The first haircut was that kind of late 80s, early 90s cop show haircut.
Yep. Zach Morris hair.
Kinda. Yeah. Kinda. And now he's Mr. Military in this one.
Yep.
And it's only been 6 months. And so she has no idea who he is. But being fair, I didn't recognize her.
I didn't either.
It was
no. I'm only asking this because until you read this, I thought he just killed another random person.
Nope, it's her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, did not realize it was her.
She looks like Juliet. What's the dark-haired curly? She has the same kind of hairstyle, and she was on ER. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Juliana
Margulies or
Margulies.
something?
Yeah, there.
She looks like her.
Kinda.
In the one where they're Deep Star. Is she in Deep Star 6? She's in one of those terrible movies.
Oh wow, I think Deep Star 6 is before her time.
Yeah, she's in one of those, I think.
Oh,
she's like it's one of those Sharon Stone, Alan Quartermain.
Oh, I gotcha.
Wish I wasn't here moments.
Right.
Maybe like Thomas Jane's Nemesis.
She joins him for a conversation, and then he basically kills her and this other random dude that's with her. Which I paused and went, I think this is just murder.
Yeah.
But I guess there is no law.
Well, no, because he's LAPD, bro. They can do whatever they need.
That's true. And then soon after his handlers show up, his former lover, Jared, who is an android, and another android, Sam. All right, so Sam is the first one that shows up and talks. And Jared basically looks like Mannequin from Mannequin 2.
Yeah, I thought...
I didn't think that person was... The android makeup was so good, I thought it was plastic.
I thought it was an android. I mean, I thought it was a mannequin. I thought they just got really poor.
They have a conversation about, you got to come back, and he's not going to do that. He's going to go off and do other things. And then the other android, Sam, just kills his dog. And you know what? He's cool with that. So he's definitely not John Wick.
Nope. He's the opposite of John Wick.
He's like, kill my dog, whatever.
He digs a hole, buries the dog.
Right.
No remorse.
Nope, just burying the dog.
Goes to Rio de Janeiro.
Goes to Rio. Her name is Rio.
Oh, that's way more entertaining.
Alex decides he's had enough and leaves the LAPD, becoming a freelance hustler and triggerman. However, the LAPD bosses just let him run free for a while. After he's shot and badly wounded on a job, he is killed by the guy who plays Tommy in. He's not killed, but shot up by the guy who plays Tommy in Jason Lives, and who also has a terrible haircut.
Everyone has terrible haircuts in this movie.
After he's shot and badly wounded on the job, his old boss, Commissioner Farnsworth, Tim Thomerson, has him kidnapped and brought to him for one final assignment. So it's okay. So it's been. It's
1 year later when he goes to Brazil. It just popped up.
Right. So it's 1 year later and he has a different haircut.
No, he doesn't just have a different haircut. He has Sylvester Stallone and Rambo hair.
Yeah, he's got Rambo 3's he's got Rambo 3's haircut.
It's totally Rambo 3's haircut.
And he has that for a minute. The movie's not like 20 minutes into it. He's got 4 haircuts right now.
There's 4 haircuts and we are 23 minutes in.
Right, 4 haircuts.
I'm watching in real time.
I mean, literally
God, it's a beautiful mullet. It's actually kind of a mullet.
Yeah, but so was Rambo 3's.
No, it is. I mean, his hair right now, he kind of looks like the older brother from the vampire movie, Lost Boys.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Jason Patrick.
Jason Patrick, thank you. According to Jermaine.
Wait, how is that a bad guy name? I don't think your name is Jermaine. Jermaine, your name is not Jermaine to being evil.
I just like how the synopsis goes. According to Jermaine, there's like, we haven't mentioned a Jermaine at all. It's like, just like,
hey, Jermaine.
According to that guy.
Who's Jermaine, though?
He's one of the German guys.
Oh. Wait, he's a German
named Jermaine, yeah.
Right.
Jared has stolen a vital security information regarding an upcoming summit between Japan and the United States. And that's when they were talking about this, I went, oh, the plot is racism. Because they make a lot of racist remarks against Japanese folks.
Yep.
And just, oh, wow.
So did they ever say, did the Japanese invent the cyborgs?
Nope, they don't say that. It may be in the synopsis, but they just, because Japan is now part of the United States, they don't want them to talk nicely, and Japan has some influence to get rid of the commissioner, because apparently the commissioner of the LAPD is the most powerful position in the world.
Just consider that.
It's like the president and the commissioner of the LAPD.
I mean, that is I can't even fathom what childish crayon scribble wrote that idea down.
Well, we could always ask Rebecca Charles.
I think she's not real. I don't think she's. We're on the Rambo scene right now. It is glorious too. So this guy right here.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I've
seen him in lots of stuff. That's Jermaine.
That's Jermaine.
But I've seen him in lots of movies. He's always a bad guy, all through the 90s.
Nicholas Guest.
If you're a Nicholas Guest fan,
he's also in this.
He's also in this movie.
What we lovingly call a film. It's a picture that has motion in it.
It is definitely a picture with motion.
Let's see. Jared must be stopped before she leaks the plans to the Red Army Hammerheads, which is the bad guys.
But
Alex is told by Farnsworth that a bomb was implanted in his heart during his latest repairs. Okay, so this guy is kind of suicidal, so I don't understand. Like, he's like, I need to live now. I'm like,
nope.
No.
He shows no emotion the entire movie.
He's like,
and they're like, you got a bomb in you.
Oh, that sucks. I guess I'll have to work for you. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it makes no...
It's Eeyore the assassin.
Eeyore.
Oh, poo, I have to murder you now.
Oh, bother.
Click, boom, bitch.
But see, like, this sequence, so some of the sequences are bizarre to me in this movie, because we're bashing it, because it is terrible on every level.
God, it's terrible.
But there's parts where it's lensed really well, and it actually is very pretty. And some of the stunts, like we said earlier, they're too real to be stunts. I think they're actual peril.
Okay, so a couple of things I'll say. I mean, I was going to say this for the end, but there's a couple of things I will give it credit for. First of all, it doesn't look like it was shot in 92.
No.
It's shot very well.
Yeah.
It's just there's nothing there. There's just no substance.
There's no story, and the props are terrible.
But the cinematographer was like, okay, this is what I got. I'm gonna make a masterpiece, and he's really good with it. And the stunts are fun. There's a lot of fun, wacky, weird stuff, but there's some fun stunts in there.
One of my favorite scenes of all time is in this movie. And I had forgotten about it.
So, it's terrible.
It's an awful movie.
Continuing.
Yep. Alex
is told by Farnsworth that a bomb is... Okay, we knew about the bomb. So he's given 3 days to find Jared before he meets with the leader of the Hammerheads. Angie Liv, Shang Tsung. Otherwise, the bomb will detonate and kill him. So after flying to the island of Shanglu in the Pacific Rim, it's in Indonesia is what they specifically, he is turned loose as bait for Jared. And he shows up to Hawaii where they shot it.
Yeah, it's clearly.
And Shanglu. And then there's a naked Thomas Jane watching from a window.
Yep.
And then there's it's not Jared, it's the other girl. Who's not Jared, but she also has a J name that sounds like a dude's name.
Yep.
And so she's also naked.
And she's fairly ripped. I'll give her credit.
Right. She worked really hard. There's
a piece of trivia about that.
How hard she worked in it, because she didn't want to do a body double. And hey, I respect that. She was very pretty.
Yeah, good for her. She was very toned. That's about the point on the plane that I was very embarrassed that scene was unfolding in front of me, and the girl next to me was like, "What is this dude watching?"
And so Thomas Jane is watching naked through the window, and then he goes to make out with her. But while he's enjoying a little fun time with the other cyborg lady, the most random fight happens.
Mm-hmm.
So Alex is walking down the sidewalk, and the goons just show up and follow him, and then they just try to fight him, and then let him go.
Yeah, he just walks away.
And there's no reason why they did that.
Oh, no, yes, there is. It's called an action beat, and the movie was getting a little slow. So just some random guys in Hawaii. I hear everybody in Hawaii just beats up everybody. That's not me speaking. That's Farnsworth.
Shang Lu is a very dangerous place. So
yeah.
So we'll just have this white guys and like Roadblock from G.I. Joe show up to fight.
Just
he had hair though. He had that poor guy had that like really. He had that older goon hair that you see in like New Jack City.
Oh yeah, classics.
He's got that hat, right? That hair. Yep. It turns out that Jared was fatally wounded during her escape from L.A., requiring her memory core to
which you don't see.
Because they already were saving Escape for L.A. for another movie. Requiring her memory cord to be salvaged from her body. After removing a surveillance device implanted in Alex's eye, Julian, this movie's so crazy. Oh, wait, hold on. I've skipped something. Sorry, let me back this up. This is how confused I am, because I could skip something no one would know.
And you're reading a synopsis.
Right. So, all right. So, after flying to the island of Shanglu in the Pacific Rim, he is turned loose as bait for Jared. In reality, the freedom fighters are not battling against government control of people's lives, but humanity's future. A newly designed android is infiltrating the higher echelons of human society, copying the minds of powerful leaders into synthetic bodies. Farnsworth among them. Jared threatens their plans, and so Alex's real mission is to smoke her out for the synthetics to destroy. Burnout, Alex half-heartedly begins the search, checking into a local hotel where he meets Chozen. He is soon intercepted by Julian, who was making out with Billy, a cyborg representing Jared. She tells him she's being followed by the LAPD strike team led by Farnsworth, who's I don't understand any of this. Waiting for the opportunity.
No, it makes no sense. Like again,
waiting for the opportunity to hit that the Hammerheads and Jared. Turns out that Jared was fatally wounded in her escape from L.A., requiring her memory cord to be salvaged from her body. After removing a surveillance device implanted in Alex's eye,
which was a pretty grotesque, weird scene,
Julian injects him with a digital scramble that prevents the bomb from being remotely detonated. So his heart bomb is going to be okay. She gives him Jared's memory cord, enabling him to talk to her. Very Total Recall. The strike team storms the hotel, and Julian sacrifices herself to let Alex escape. There's a couple things about these two scenes I really want to talk about. First of all is that when Jared and her henchmen find Alex, he's in the shower. And
it's the weirdest scene. The guy just walks in and is like...
Right, the guy's already had like the worst day. You just want to take a shower. Yeah. You've been on a plane all day. You end up in a hot tropical place. Goons try to beat me up. I just want to take a shower, right? And so, super Jerry Cool mullet guy comes in and fights him. And then is killed. And then he shows up naked to what I would like to call the over-the-butt shot.
Yep.
So they put the camera low at Alex's naked rear end and have a conversation with Julian over the butt. And just...
It's a really bizarre angle.
I will say I've been to film school.
Yep.
You've been to film school.
Yep.
Did you ever learn the over-the-butt shot?
Never even... But this movie... Look, it was so ahead of its time. The over-the-butt shot was brand new. You'll see it making... I bet it's shown up in some other Tarantino film.
It might make in my next film. I mean, actually, we're going to play homage.
So there's something in this that I thought was fascinating that was, again, pre-Matrix, right? There's a sequence in this where he has an MP5K, which is the same gun. I'm a nerd, and I know this. Same gun they use in the Matrix a good bit. There's a sequence in which he has an MP5K, and he continues to shoot a circular pattern in the floor to drop down.
Right. I was about to talk about the...
He goes 5 floors and never... It's like one time is a good idea.
Right.
But 5 more times. Like, he just keeps falling down through holes. It's literally the dumbest thing I've seen in a very long time.
But Underworld did the same thing much better.
Yeah, Underworld did it way better.
And I bet they
did it here first. I'm just saying.
Nemesis is the Simpsons of film. It's like Jim Cotta and Nemesis.
That's it. That's all you need. Those two. Oh, Jim Cotta is like Oscar worthy compared to this turd. Nemesis is the worst film I've seen in a very long time.
I could teach film class now. I could just show Jim Cotta and Nemesis and be like, "You've got all my knowledge.
Here's the high. Here's the low. Go
make someone in the middle.
The yin and the yang. Go for it, my children."
I also like the bad guys storm Julian's, Alex's hotel room, but they storm Julian there, and she's basically stalling for them, so they just shoot her for like 5 minutes.
Oh, can we talk about that? Everyone in this movie is a stormtrooper from Star Wars, and none of them can hit shit.
Right, even with their magic shotguns.
They're like 5 feet from each other in most of the gun battles.
Right. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculously bad.
So the black dude has basically Roblox machine gun from G.I. Joe.
It's the best scene ever. And he just walks right on in.
And he just and they shoot her. And this is where I say all the budget went on sparks, because I mean her body it's not squibs, it's like sparks. Whatever that is.
And it wasn't CG.
No, it wasn't CG, and it just looked dangerous. Because you know that's her real body that's just lit up by sparklers going.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I do like the special effects of her after they shoot her all. I like the special effects of her shooting her up. I won't lie. The sparks thing is.
It was fun. It was a callback. Like didn't bother me.
But I did like when after she's all blown up and dead, near dead. But she has no legs.
Yep.
And she crawls, and she's got like, cyborg leg parts, and that looked really neat.
It's on right now.
And then the bad guy pulls her eyes out.
Yeah. Which
looks pretty, and the special effects of her having no eyes was pretty good.
It's grotesque.
They things they spent budget on. It's like let's make it look good.
They did, and it's very clever in some ways. Very clever filmmaking, because it's just like she's just got like a back piece on, right? Her legs are still there, but it's camera placement. Like, it's back to old school. The only thing that's really bizarre is like the Google Glasses thing, like all like Farnsworth and
no. Also, so there's a few tropes in here that the movie's in the future. First of all the guns have some sort of silencer or grenade launcher on it, right?
Yep. Or scope.
And then the all the bad guys have microphones, technical like gamer microphones, like they're playing Halo while
that's exactly right.
while they're I'm getting my Overwatch on while I'm trying to kill real cyborgs. Oh. All right, so Alex is eventually joined up with a local woman named Max. Her name's not just Max. Her name is Max Impact.
Yep, Max Impact.
Who's this mousy girl that was kind of following her for some reason?
Nope, no clue.
And she who acts as a scout for the Hammerheads while fronting as a tour guide. None of that's explained in the movie at all.
Nope.
What is explained is that her sister is also Rosaria, the woman that Alex killed in Old Baja, and somehow she knew that, and then she wants him dead, but she decides that he may be better suited for other things. He's brought up to the Hammerheads and is convinced by Shang Tsung to join the cause. Unfortunately, the strike team hunts them down, leading to a shootout chasing them through the rundown city. Most of the Hammerheads, including Shang Tsung, are killed by Farnsworth's men.
I like how we just call him Shang Tsung.
Because it's a better name than Angie Liv.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
So, seriously, there's a gun battle happening. I'm at the 58-minute mark in this monstrosity. They're like... It's so poorly composed, the frames are, in this case. They're literally standing next to each other.
Right.
But the spark work is amazing. It's like Sparko squibs going off on these guys. Like, I mean, all over the place. It's beautiful. But yet...
Again, the budget went to the wrong things. Or maybe the right things, and I'm just looking at it wrong.
It would have been amazing if they would have written a story.
Alex saves Max's life, eventually earning her forgiveness. In a confrontation with Farnsworth, Alex shoots him with a grenade launcher, apparently killing. So let's talk about that. So Farnsworth just goes...
Can we before we go to... You're talking about when Farnsworth goes...
Yeah. So
revealed?
Right. So
just before that,
No, I'm talking about before he's revealed.
Yeah.
During this chase scene of after Alex saves Max's life and they're running through the jungles. First of all, I felt bad for all the trees that literally got blown up by real squibs.
Yep.
Because I was like, oh, that's a beautiful forest. And they were like, not anymore.
Yeah, they just blew it. I mean, it was like
The 10 trees just died making this movie.
they're like, "Oh, sell it for paper scrap."
And then it's Farnsworth with his magic shotgun, and just
That's like a freaking sniper rifle. He's shooting like 1,000 feet away from them.
and
It's
it never
ridiculous.
seems to run out of shells.
No. And they just, if it does, it's, hey, here's that shot we used 3 minutes ago of the guy loading. And it's just the same shot.
It's just,
Oh, that's a woman's hand. Nah, no one will notice that.
No one cares.
They're looking at the shell.
Just whatever.
Just show more shells.
And so he's just shooting at them, and I mean huge explosions from this shotgun.
Seriously big pyro.
There's a great where they're near water, they jump into water, and then he shoots. There's a close up of him shooting, and then like the biggest explosion in the water.
Like a depth charge just went off.
Right. They were trying to sink a submarine.
Yes. Well, what makes me laugh on that whole gag is they're running and there's explosions, and then they're like, guys, we got to work in some other stunts. They're like, okay, we're in Hawaii. I mean, whatever the name of this place is. So they just start jumping. Like they jump like 4 times. They're like, whoopee, and they land in the water, and then it cuts to Farnsworth 7 miles away shooting a shotgun at them. Depth charge explosion. They're on land. They jump again into water. It's like they're cliff diving repeat. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And then we get to...
Please explain your favorite shot, because
there's one. I'll save this for trivia. Do you remember the old lady scene that makes absolutely...
Oh, yeah, we skipped the old lady with a gun.
What is that there for?
I think Stop or My Mama Was Shoot came out the year before.
It's got to be. Because it's just a little old lady that shoots a robot guy.
She also reminds me of the Where's the Beef lady.
I think it is the Where's
No, she died before this movie, but her Where's the Beef fame was very limited. Let's put it that way.
No, it's true.
And so...
It's just literally... I mean, this is...
But it's funny. It's
It
really
is funny. It's probably the idea that led to this entire movie was this dumb short.
I need a grandma with a gun fighting, shooting her.
And it does make it like this robot guy's harassing her.
Right. For why?
No reason. She's old. Geriatric.
You're not a robot.
He's an ageist. You're not a robot. Like, who cares?
I bet she's got a pacemaker. That counts.
What's wrong with these people? None of these robots take over idea works for me. All right, so let me get to my favorite shot. So we've just gone through a series of cliff jumping. At some point, they end up on a bigger cliff, the biggest of the cliffs.
The super cliff.
The super cliff. And as he's running towards the edge of the cliff, he's with Max Impact, and he says, "Max, throw me my gun," in which she throws him his gun.
And we know it's a future gun.
It has a laser scope.
Right.
I mean, it has a scope. It has a grenade launcher.
Right.
And this one's not a shotgun, though.
No, it's just pistol.
It does have some other parts glued to it.
Yeah, they did a lot of glowing.
He does a forward flip like he is doing off of a diving board into the water.
Right.
Meanwhile, he shoots one bullet at the bad guy, whose skin then melts off.
Oh, he explodes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He explodes and then reveals the shittiest possible Jason and the Argonauts. And I like, I just blacked on his name. What's the guy that did all the stop? Ray Harryhausen. I love that stuff back then. Right now, it's not working for me. It's so bad.
So, after they flip, kick, blow up Farnsworth, Alex and Max arrive at a secret hangar where Chozen's just hanging out.
Yep.
And he's apparently a pilot. And they've got a space plane thing. While launching their vehicle, and they called it an Aerodyne. They are attacked by the cyborg Farnsworth. No, he's a robot. He's not a he's a robot. A cyborg is He's a T-800. He's like a T-500. It was like
he's a T. He's not even a T. He didn't even make he's the reject. He's an R1000.
I wouldn't put him up that high. They're still working.
He still walks.
Skynet's still working out the kinks. Farnsworth reduced to a medical endoskeleton. Alex defeats him, but suffers grave injuries. In the process, and discovers just how much of him is really synthetic. This also makes no sense to me. Alex brings Jared's core to another Hammerhead compound where they are able to destroy the labs being used to duplicate people. The lab is run by Oscar nominee Jackie R. Haley. who has like 3 lines, probably got paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
So here's what I don't understand. So Jared is a computer program, right? She's right.
Yep.
All right. So here's where I get lost. Unfortunately, this means wiping her memory from the core, effectively killing her. Didn't you just make a copy? Can you just copy paste?
I don't. Yeah, I just don't. I don't. None of it.
Copy paste robot lady.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, Windows, man.
So she exists inside of a little box,
right?
That if they take her out of that little box and put her into the internet, that causes all these bad guys to die. But
also kills her in the process.
That makes no. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. I mean, it's so far from.
It's like.
Can we talk about the fight though?
We can.
I just want to talk about the scene where they want to show how metallic he is, and he gets when the robot. So they're fighting on the space jet,
right?
Ray Harryhausen's R1000,
right,
versus
Alex Rain,
Roman Reigns' twin brother. They're fighting, and in the process of fighting. And it's a very poor fight.
Oh, it's
and in the process of fighting, the robot falls out,
right,
and grabs onto Roman Reigns' twin brother, Ted, and he starts pulling him out. Starts pulling Alex Rains, our hero, whatever he is, out of the jet. And there's a scrap metal piece, and it cuts his head off.
Oh yeah, tops to the top. I thought it killed him.
I thought it did too.
I was like, that's a bold choice. Kill our hero. Like,
but no, he's just now wearing a metal ski cap.
Right.
And they just want you to know that he has a cyber head.
Right.
That he's more than 86.5%. He lied.
Right.
He's a cyborg, apparently. Or an android.
And apparently it blinded him, but I didn't catch that part.
No, I didn't get that either.
So it unfortunately means wiping Jared's memory from the core, effectively killing her. Heavily bandaged and temporarily blind, Alex is forced to say goodbye. And there's a whole scene where she's like, "Are you crying?" He's like, "Yeah, get me out of here."
Yeah, it was really. It's just so emotionless.
And so I'm like, I didn't realize until reading the synopsis that Jared and him had a history together.
Yeah, they were partners and
they were
lovers.
They were lovers, but they weren't anymore. So I don't know.
I have one scene I need you to explain to me. But I'm just going to show it to you, and we're going.
I don't know if I can do that. So
we're going to get your live reaction. Just wait for it as it comes through. I don't get that
this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get any of it, but I just don't get. I don't even get what they were trying to say. Like, there's no message. There's no. Here it is. I'm just going to let you tell me. Why is this happening? Why is he sitting like this in the rain, fully soaking wet? Why?
Because robots can't feel, man.
Why is it? I mean, if you got guys go, if you want to see what I'm referring to,
I'll tell you exactly why he's doing that.
It's the 1 hour and 31 minute mark, and he's in full clothing, even though he has a trench coat
and another hairstyle
and a new hairstyle, and his
head.
shirt is soaking wet.
Well, here's the thing.
Like dripping wet.
The reason why they did that, they wanted to make sure you knew that the letter he's reading from Farnsworth
is sad.
No, it's waterproof because it's plastic. Well, it's future paper, and that's the only way the audience will know that it's future paper.
But they got the poor actor soaking wet for no reason.
But we already know he's from the future. We've seen his robot parts,
and then the girl's wet. Like, he is soaking wet. It makes, I mean...
But we know they're from the... We have to know. It's important for us to know that the paper is from the future.
I'm having scan me right now.
Right.
So, my brain's going to explode.
So our last paragraph is this. Sneaking into L.A. and hunting down the synthetic agents, Alex corners Jermaine on the helipad of LAPD headquarters. Despite Jermaine's protest that he cannot hope to kill all these synthetics, Alex shoots him. Before she died, Jared told Alex that the real commissioner Farnsworth left him a letter at the old dead stop, the future letter, the one made of future plastic.
It must be read in the pouring rain.
Right, it must be. It's like Matt. You can't unless it's raining. You won't be able to see the word.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Right,
I'd buy that.
In it, his former mentor apologizes for sometimes rough treatment, reminding him that they all have to do what's right. Alex walks off with his new partner Max Impact. And they joke about how they're going to smuggle his synthetic body through airport customs. Piece by piece, Max. Credits.
I think there's a gun sound. Target acquired. I think there's some stupid line like that.
There's a deleted scene with that stuff in there, too. There's a deleted scene where the bad guys win.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, right. So like in Germany, Japan, that's the only one they know. It's like, what do you mean the good guys win in this movie?
Oh, the bad guys win over
Yeah.
there.
So.
It's hard. It is hard. It is hard damn work trying to think about how this movie was even made and why I even suggested it. Again, I apologize.
I think we're gonna revote your movie picking.
You can't do that. I've got some decent, terrible choices in there somewhere.
That's true. Wow.
I'm 1 for 2 right now. You had Dreamscape. That's a safe bet.
That's a safe bet. Yeah. I got some deep cuts that we'll be able to compare. I know that for a fact. I got
the bigger problem is
Satan's Reign's coming. You'll be like, oh look, Nemesis. I think Satan's Reign's actually better than Nemesis, but
it could be.
Yeah.
A lot could be better than this movie. It literally this is.
See, what's funny now? I think we have a new scale we can go. Whatever we watch, we're like, well, was it worse than Nemesis?
Yeah, was it worse than Nemesis? That's 100% it.
I think that's our new scale. The worse than Nemesis scale.
Maybe that's the shirt. We haven't gotten a good shirt.
Yeah, no worse than Nemesis. That'd be the best thing out of the show. That movie.
Yep. Oliver Gruner's glasses.
Oh.
That are now worn by.
But you know what? Here's the thing. We may just be off on this movie. We may just be terribly, terribly off because
oh boy,
this movie has spawned 4 sequels.
That's correct.
And a 5th one that may or may not be on the way.
It says in development.
Right. So that could mean a lot of things.
And Alex Raines is back in that one for some reason.
All right. So I have some quick synopsis.
What is it again? Synopsis. Yeah, go ahead.
For the following movies. Nemesis 2. 73 years after Alex failed, humans have lost the cyborg wars. Did not know that was a thing. And now they are slaves to the cyborg masters. Rebel scientists have developed a new DNA strand which could signal the end of the cyborgs, and if it is injected into a pregnant volunteer. When the cyborg learns of the woman and her baby, both are listed for termination. To escape, she steals a cyborg ship and is transported back in time to East Africa in 1980.
What?
Where the mother is killed, but the baby is saved. It takes 20 years, but cyborg bounty hunter named Nebula eventually locates the young woman, also named Alex, and travels back in time to terminate her. That's the plot.
I mean, that is 100% awful. I mean, I wonder what this has on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm just gonna go take a look. See.
All right.
Just a quick.
While you do that, I will go to
Nemesis 3.
Nemesis 3, Pray Harder or Time Lapse. There, I had two titles.
Pray Harder.
Prey.
Oh,
harder.
God.
Or
I want that shirt.
Or
I want a Pray Harder shirt.
I will make us Pray Harder shirts.
Because that is just terrible.
So, came out with in 1996. So the first line of this isn't very promising. Using footage left over from Nemesis 2.
Oh, God.
And a very thin story.
Oh, God.
Line sees Alex again fighting the cyborg mercenaries in 1998 East Africa. This time, Alex finds that she has 20 half-sisters who are waiting for her to return to 2077. Central Command wants Alex captured alive and scans to see if her DNA is strong and more powerful of the strain than the normal one. But Alex may be too tough for Farnsworth to capture. Dun dun dun. Nemesis 4.
Nemesis 4.
Came also out in 1996. Entitled Death Angel. Following an uneasy ceasefire between the humans and cyborgs, Alex Sinclair, she has a last name now, is making a living in the future working as a cybernetically enhanced assassin for her boss, Bernardo.
Oh, God. Who writes these names? Farnsworth, Bernardo.
But when Alex accidentally targets the wrong man and kills the son of a major crime syndicate head, she finds herself on the run once again as every assassin in town comes to collect the bounty on her. So it's basically pre-John Wick with no dog.
Just saying, John Wick right there.
And all the while, Alex has been seeing a woman in black watching her from a distance. Alex begins to think the angel of death is waiting to come for her. And last but not least, Nemesis 5 came out in 2017.
Oh, crap.
Entitled The New Model. It is the year 2077, and terrorist organization known as the Red Army Hammerheads now dominate the Earth. The fate of humanity now rests in the hands of the new model, Aerie Frost. Trained under the wing of Alex Rain, she must form an army of cyborg humans to take down the regime and regain control. After all, 86.5% is still considered human.
Oh dear God! So they rebooted their own movie in the fifth sequel. They literally rebooted their own movie in the fifth sequel.
Yeah, they did.
Unbelievable.
So
just letting you guys know, you got 8 years to prepare for this cyborg war. You might as well get some implants locked in there. You can get your eyeballs replaced.
Like it's nothing. So that happened. What did you find on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, there's nothing, only this one, and it's a fan score of 39%.
That's generous.
It's very generous. I just was curious to see if they threw the other ones up, but they're not even.
I could not find a budget for this film.
Yeah, I don't want to. I think they're ashamed.
But it did have a theatrical release,
which is mind blowing.
So it released on January 31st, 1993.
In the dead zone. That's the dead zone of theatrical releasing.
How much money do you think it made?
I have no idea.
Opening weekend.
How many screens does it say?
I did not put that down.
Okay.
Because I think if I put it down, you would figure it out. I'm
going to go with 100,000.
You know what? You're close. Opening weekend was $197,231.
So almost $200,000 went to that turd.
In 1993 money, so decent.
Fairly good.
It did not make the top 100 that weekend. I was like,
that weekend. Or ever.
Or ever. Usually the movies that we do are like squeak out the top one. No, this one did not. Worldwide gross.
Oh, I have no clue.
Just guess.
4 million.
Half that. 2 million.
2 million.
Actually, $2,001,124.
Okay, so that's not good.
No. So the biggest movies of that weekend, do you want to guess?
What is this, 92?
93, January 31st.
93. What was that
song? So you got to think about...
Jurassic Park was 92, right?
94.
I have no concept of
93,
time.
it's 93.
I fail at this really bad.
All right, but see, that's summer, so this is January.
I know. I'm just thinking about what might have been
So think
over.
about Christmas movies in 92. That'll help.
I still don't... Gremlins 2, the new batch?
Was a summer movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But it took place at Christmas, didn't it?
No, the first one did.
The second one doesn't?
No. It's Christmas and then it happened at New York, because you can't do New York and Christmas. That's just too much crazy for America.
Got it.
The American audience can't handle that.
Can't take it.
So, are you ready for this?
Hold on. This is what Nemesis lost its audience members to.
Oh, I got that for the year one. You'll love that. All right. So, number one for that weekend is Aladdin.
Oh, wow.
Number 2 is Sniper.
Oh, that's a great movie. Tom Berenger.
Yep.
Love that movie.
Number 3 is Scent of a Woman.
Also a great movie. Tom Berenger. Love that.
I love when Tom Berenger just goes around going, hoo-ah! Hoo-ah! Tom Berenger.
I'm pretty sure Tom Berenger's in Aladdin, too, if you give enough time. You drink enough of these beers and Tom Berenger. I don't know what that means.
Hoo-ah!
Can we get a really crappy meme of Tom Berenger doing hoo-ah? What was our Nemesis shirt? Damn it. We have to listen to the episode to remember now.
No. Our Nemesis shirt is the Pray Harder.
Can we have Tom Berenger saying hoo-ah and then Pray Harder underneath it?
We can try.
I mean, the worst drawing ever. I'll see if Finley can do it.
Hey, Aladdin, you want to be a prince? Hoo-ah! Pray Harder.
Later, I'll be the substitute.
Alibaba had that. Hoo-ah! Tom Berenger.
That's all we need.
Oscar winner, Tom Berenger.
Tom Berenger. I'm Tom Berenger.
Number 3 was A Few Good Men.
Also with Tom Berenger.
You can't handle them.
You can't handle the hoo-ah!
Could he finish? I don't care if no one else laughs.
No, it's funny to us.
I can imagine this car ride and somebody listening to our show and it's just dead silence and we're dying. I'm crying. That's all.
Well, it's just the idea of Tom Berenger doing anything is golden, especially now that it's become, yeah.
The last movie, number 5, was Alive.
Yeah, Tom Berenger didn't make it through that. I think he dies in that one.
He's like,
falls out of the back of the plane.
no, he's like stuck in these mountains and I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat that guy. Hoo-ah! Give me some of that butt. Hoo-ah!
Cut to the butt shot. Nemesis.
Pray harder.
Pray harder.
All right, so top 5 movies of that year.
Oh dear God, I'm really bad at it.
Oh, just guess.
Aladdin's one of them. It has to be.
Aladdin technically would have been 92.
Oh, it was a rollover.
Again, January.
Oh yeah, January. This is tough. January 93.
You already mentioned one of them. You also mentioned the number 1 movie when you were guessing.
Wasn't Back to the Future in there somewhere?
85.
I've just learned to throw that one in there just to have it happen.
Oh, this is fun. Ready?
Yep.
Number 1, Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, of course.
Number 2, Mrs. Doubtfire. Number 3, the award-winning The Fugitive.
Oh wow.
Number 4, The
The Fugitive I think does have Tom Berenger for real this time.
I think so too. Who are you?
Tom Berenger. He's in everything, man.
He's like,
fuck Kevin Bacon.
He's like,
6 Degrees of Berenger.
I didn't kill my wife. Hoo-ah! Don't care. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, this hurts. The Firm.
And we're sober, by the way.
Here we are.
Stone sober.
The Firm is number 4, and Sleepless in Seattle number 5. So, just to remind people that this is 93. This is the year that also brought us the Oscar-winning Best Picture, Schindler's List.
Oh wow.
And also one of my favorite movies of all time, Tombstone.
Oh wow.
This movie has a Jim Cotta link.
Nemesis has a Jim Cotta link, and I didn't get it.
No, I'm being loose about that.
Oh, okay.
In trends of movies that also came out that year, Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
Yep.
Came out. Jason Goes to Hell, and Super Mario Brothers.
Okay. Fun fact: worked with the production designer of Super Mario Brothers.
Oh wow!
I'm going to get him on the show.
Please do.
Also, the production designer of Demolition Man.
Oh, see,
I would like to watch Demolition Man and talk to him about.
I would love to too.
And he will talk about it because he is the sole person responsible for the seashell.
Good, because he can explain it. Because
he won't. It's a gag.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole thing. It's amazing. He's also the art director on Blade Runner. He's one of the best people in the world we can talk. If I can reach out to him and get him,
that'd be great.
I would love to. Because Super Mario Brothers, I like that movie. Oh. I'm weird as crap. I liked it.
Then we need to do that on the show. I haven't seen it in a very long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. But when I was a kid, I enjoyed it. It kind of creeped me out. It was a little too much fungus for me that reminded me of snot, and I don't do well with it.
And you've got children.
I struggle.
Oh, Drew, why'd you make me watch this movie?
It was one of the worst things. It seriously was.
Wow, I kind of want to find the production designer of this film and be like, you were like only
interesting. I looked her up.
Oh,
she's done. This was her first movie,
right?
And she's gone on and done some like really heavy hitter.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good.
She took some time off after this movie.
Right.
Probably needed it, and she worked. You could see she worked her way up. She was like an ACD, assistant costume designer. Worked her way up, and then some of her design stuff was great. I mean, she has some big shows.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Spectral is one of hers, the Netflix movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's got some good shows.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Good for her.
But she's the only one. Everyone else just kind of stayed exactly where they were. Even the editors didn't have anything. One of the guys cut the 6th man, I think.
Yeah,
six day. Whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
I looked at the editors, and that's why I skipped them. There was like a lot of people worked on this. I mean, look, I'm not disparaging any kind of guy who works in the business.
No, I'm with you.
You got to make a buck. That's fine with me. But there's a lot of people in here who did the end of Canon run. This was a Canon film.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the director had to deal with Canon to do a bunch of stuff, but Canon was faulty, was falling, and he was dying. He came in and tried his best to save their version of Journey to the Center of the Earth, and he's uncredited for that. He did Cyborg for them, and then he was going to do this one, but they dissolved, and so this fell to someone else. And
oh wow,
yeah, and so that's how that happened. And then he went on to do. I mean, this guy's done a bunch. I mean, he's got a lot of credits, but he's
known for cyberpunk, not
Right.
cyberpunk, but cyborgs is his jam.
Right.
That's-
He's like,
hey guys, we got a new cyborg script. They're like, call Alan Putin or whatever his name is.
it's like we need. Is it shitty? Yeah, sing it to that guy.
Yeah, give it straight to him.
He's gonna listen to this and be like, "We'll never work with those guys again."
No, look, man, I think it's great. You carved out a niche and ran with it.
He's made more
Just
money
make
than,
damn sense with Nemesis.
Yeah, Nemesis makes no sense.
It could have.
Yeah.
It could have just been a low budget Blade Runner.
Yeah, it could have been a
Because it is kind of a low budget Blade Runner.
Sort of.
Meets Terminator.
Total Recall.
Meets Total Recall. Meets
Cherry 2000.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
It's a lot of.
It's kind of like they just took some ideas and just. You know what it really is? It's like eating a shit ton of Fruity Pebbles and barfing them back up.
Right. There's a lot going on.
There's just a lot going on there.
Or it's Halloween night. You don't like candy and it's all good, and then you throw it all up. You're like, the f is all this?
Yeah, and there's some pieces that are still whole,
Right,
like the sweetest fish. Like, how did that happen?
Right.
Yeah.
Why's RoboCop still over here?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Hooah.
Hooah! Tom Berenger's back though.
So, how would you fix this?
I can't. You can't.
Can you?
Man, I thought about this question because I know it's part of our syntax, right?
Yeah.
I thought about this question and I went through it, and I honestly don't think you might have a better solution. I could not figure out a way with taking what exists and adjusting it, because sometimes it can be adjusted, but the story's so discombobulated that it doesn't make enough.
So at its core, there are points that you can use. So get rid of the LAPD and make it another government agent
or make it Cyberdyne equivalent,
right? So make
like
it,
the government contract with this company,
right? Because the LAPD doesn't make sense.
No, zero.
Makes no sense. I would also set it all in the U.S. I would take out the need to go to other places. Set it on future LA, because future LA can be crazy.
Or shit, set it all in the Western town.
Right.
I would have loved it to be a Western. That would have been crazy.
Cyborg Racer would be great.
Freaking brilliant.
So
okay, so now that's my new idea. I'm going with Cyborg Western.
So you basically have your guy, who is maybe I like the idea of him screwing up or failing at that last mission and getting rebuilt and going to retire. And they pulled him back in for one more job, because it's like they've got that over him. It's like, we spent $6 million to put you back together. You've got to go fight Bigfoot or whatever it is, Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And so,
did you say Steve Austin?
Right, the $6 million man. That's why I said we spent $6 million on you. I went with a theme.
I exactly went with Stone Cold Steve Austin. So when you did that, I was thinking about the wrestler.
Of course you were. You're already dropping.
That some bitch! I'll show him this gimmick over. Hooah! Tom Berenger.
So we're gonna get a whole bunch of notes going. That was Al Pacino. We know. So you have him go, and then it becomes a James Bond thriller, because he's got to get the plans.
Yeah.
Because it's the 90s and everything's data. No one knew about like how the net worked. Right. And so you've got to get the data plans for the Death Star. That's what it becomes. Yeah. And you have cool cyborgs fighting him off to do that.
That's why I think it should be a Western.
It works.
Yeah, so he's got to use analog stuff to get his way through. If they're out in the West, you get horses involved. You keep his dog. I think you keep the dog. I like the dog. The dog was the most interesting part of that whole movie. That and the lady who worked really hard to be that fit.
And right.
Because I read that factoid right before I saw her boobs.
Right.
And so then I was like, hey, good for you.
Good for you.
You look great.
Right.
I'm a fucking jerk. Please beep that.
Like the whole thing, or just the fucking? Because I'm a beep jerk.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know. Oh wow.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
There's a nugget in here, and even in the weird sequel, there's a nugget in that too.
There's got to be something. The sequel is if you watch any of the trailers of it's the most bizarre looking.
But by the synopsis, it's just a reverse engineered Terminator.
It is 100%. But the lady is a bodybuilder.
Right.
So they're really going down that, like, she wanted to be in, I believe she was injured, but she wanted to be, it was her goal.
Right.
That's what she wanted to do, was be in movies. And maybe not the best choices? Question mark?
Again, good for her.
Yeah, I still stand behind you.
Good for you.
Look, you made a movie.
You made a movie. And
biggest part, you did it.
Movies are hard to make, and that's the most important lesson about this.
You made a movie that was in Starlog, so good for you.
Good for you. I have a real quick Starlog story before we go. Did you know what movie Starlog introduced me to?
No. Well, apparently it wasn't Nemesis.
It was not Nemesis, but it was Darkman.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's a great... I haven't seen that in a while.
So Darkman...
was the first one Sam Raimi?
Yeah, first one Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Also, do you know who played Darkman?
Yeah, Liam Neeson's.
Liam Neeson. The first time I got introduced to Liam Neeson was
and he was amazing.
He was amazing. Oh.
Yeah. The bad guy is questionable. Durant. The guy from L.A. Law. I think.
It was like Lenny.
Yeah, you're not really doing it for me.
Right.
He's like the Farnsworth of bad guys.
You know what? Next episode, let's do Darkman.
I'm 100% in.
Next episode's Darkman. Already done. We're going to do Darkman.
That's good. That makes you sound like a genius, though. I picked Nemesis and Jim Cotta, and you've rolled in with Dreamscape and freaking Darkman.
We're not doing shit weasels ever on this because I have a thing with poop. We're not going to do...
shit weasels bothered me.
Oh, that whole movie bothered me.
I liked it, though. I don't know why. It got to me in the right way. It was just... It was it, though. It was the same concept as it.
But done terribly.
No, yeah, I'm sure people...
With Lawrence Kasdan on the script and directing it. Can you believe that? Empire Strikes Back. Indiana Jones.
That is Kasdan, you're right.
Yeah, it's Kasdan.
Doesn't necessarily make him the best. He's a good writer, but his directing is questionable, I think.
But he wrote it based on the novel and then directed it. Also, by the way, Wyatt Earp says, and Wyatt Earp's terrible compared to Tombstone.
Oh, yeah, Wyatt Earp doesn't even hold a candle to it.
No, so...
It's way too serious.
Yeah. I love Tombstone.
I do too.
Tombstone's good. Yay, 1993. All right.
Replacement Killers came out then?
No. Replacement Killer was later, 97.
97, okay.
It's after me or Savannah.
Oh, we can do that one too?
We could probably do Replacement Killer.
That would be one good one. It probably doesn't hold up, but in my mind it does.
Oh, I did it wrong. Danny Trejo's in it, and...
Dude, it's better. It's the original... Again... The assassin story, the same thing that's in this.
Right.
These stories has existed forever. It's the Ronin story.
Right.
It's a samurai without a master is all we're doing.
Right.
But it's fascinating to me to see how that story archetype that gets trashed by so many has existed and become mega popular again.
All right.
John Wick is nothing but the Ronin storyline.
Oh, exactly, and it's great.
And it's the same storylines. Replacement Killers did it, and there's 10 movies before that.
I mean, John Wick's I've seen a lot of action films, and I loved, especially like John Wick 3. I liked what they did. They were like, John Wick, okay, it's a simple concept. You know, kill my dog, I'm killing all of you.
Yep.
Made a shit ton of money. They're like, we got to make another one. So
Yep.
instead of like killing another dog and having him go crazy, they were like, let's build onto a mythos.
Yep.
And so in my mind, they were like, Harry Potter did this really well. So it's like the Harry Potter of assassin movies.
And supposedly there's going to be a TV show.
Oh, I'd watch it.
That's just about the hotel.
Oh,
which is brilliant.
I would watch it.
It also is genius because you can have violent scenes just outside of the hotel to keep your production costs where they need to be, but then have really great set up those violent scenes with some of the best, seediest, awesomest dialogue and sultriness that comes from that underworld.
That's so smart.
And then give me one little bit. That's brilliant.
That's smart. Shout out to Mobile Coins, Mobile Bay Coins. How about that? Because they sold me a John Wick coin. I have a silver.
What?
I have a silver John Wick coin.
Oh, that's sick.
It's not gold. They had gold versions too, but the gold versions are like
real gold prices.
I mean, yeah, the real gold prices, and I don't make real gold money. But I can be like $25 for a silver piece. Yeah, I can feel like I'm done. Got my money. So
that's freaking awesome.
Thank you for Mobile Bay Coins and Angelo. So that's really good. All right, anything else?
No, I just want us to get sponsored by Grindhouse Burgers up in Atlanta. So if I slowly plug them now. Maybe they'll send us some. Can we go do an episode in Atlanta at Grindhouse?
If they'll let us.
Oh, I'll make it happen.
You make that happen, we'll go do it.
Done.
This is Scotty saying, this is our contribution to the multiverse. Go out and make yours. Hooah!
Tom Marriger.
Thank you for listening to the Mopcast Network.